So I've learned to view it as an advantage and knowing that I can control this part of me doing these types of things. Some of you may not need to have it this extreme where you physically remove yourself from it. And others may think, well, I'm going to go that route. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to protect myself from doing harm to myself. There's nothing wrong with that. That's discipline. Believe me, it takes a lot of discipline to do it. You might think, well, it sounds like it's real easy and it sounds like fun. You're driving around in an RV and going all over the country and you're vacationing and spending too much for food that don't taste all that good. Listen, you do what you got to do. If it means taking your computers and telling your spouse that, hey, look, here's the power cord, hold on to this until next Friday or next Friday after that or whatever, and commit to them. Say, you know what, I'm going to invest more time into you instead of doing this because I have to physically remove myself from the impulsiveness that's likely to occur if I look at the price action right now, because everything in my system that I haven't grown in trusting yet, everything in my model tells me I shouldn't do it, but I don't have the experience to listen to it yet. I might do something to myself by pushing a button that I shouldn't be pushing. I'm going to engage a marketplace that I know by all rules and face value, I should not touch it. But I might see something that will lure me into, oh, it's going to really run now. And if I don't take this, I'm going to be regretful. How about if you weren't there looking at it when you know it's not likely to be there anyway, you can't feel that impulsiveness. I've never drank alcohol, okay? But I liken it to, and this is why I liked the beginning of, I promise this is the last remark because I don't want my son to tip his head out the RV again, looking at me and get frustrated. But the beginning of Alexander Elder's book, Trading for a Living, in my opinion, that is so much better than Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone. And that's not a knock against Mr. Douglas. That book is okay. But in my mind, in my opinion, about psychology and the real effects of doing things, why we do things impulsively, Alexander Elder nailed it because I grew up in an environment where majority of my family members were alcoholics. They were many times functioning alcoholics. That means they could keep a job and they were able to work being an alcoholic. But as soon as the time for going off duty happened, they're on their way to the bar, getting liquor or stopping at the liquor store and bringing it home and drinking all night long. Weekdays. And on the weekend, forget about it. They were wet and they would be fighting, carrying on, acting a fool. That was the environment I grew up in. So I told myself I was never going to do that. But that book, and where he talks about alcoholism and the effects of, dealing with that struggle of overcoming it, that addiction, that resonated with me because that's where the rubber meets the road. That's a grassroots real issue that many times, I wish educators that I liked reading about, we would go into that and nobody ever did it but Alexander Elder. So whenever I'm asked, like, what's the best psychological book out there? It's the first part. The triple screen stuff, that's okay, but that's useless to you if you can't control yourself and the impulsiveness. And everybody has an addiction. Everyone has an addiction. Every single one of us as a human being, we're addicted to something. For some of you, it might be the fact that what I'm producing, my content, you may be addicted to that because you're pursuing something and you like what you're learning here and you like the community and whatever. Given enough time and not behaving in a manner that you're being taught to do and breaking the rules, you'll learn to hate this community. You'll hate me because you're going to look for something outside of yourself to blame instead of assuming the responsibility that's required, because the rules I'm giving you, they're there for you to learn properly and not need me. But so many of you want to do like the alcoholism does to an alcoholic. I can't drink while I'm on duty, but man, I'm counting down the time, looking at the clock. It's almost quitting time. It's happy hour. And you can't wait to get another drink. Is your trading like that? Are you thirsty constantly for a new setup? Because you're addicted if you are. And chances are, if you feel that way, you're not going to stick to the rules that I'm giving you or anybody else will. And you will not succeed. You'll fall victim to this environment right here. This climate right here, this is that moment where an alcoholic feels like they want to escape. They want to escape their marriage. They feel like they're in a rut. They want to leave the person they're with. They don't like their job. They don't like where they're at in life. They they maybe lost their relationship and they can't get it back. All those things start wearing them down emotionally and psychologically. And what do? They want to drink it away. They want to self-medicate. Well, in trading, how do we do that? We push the button. Bottoms up. Glasses up, baby. Push the button. Here's a toast to you, ICT. Listen, I don't want you to send me your trade win right now. I don't want you to do that because I don't believe it's an environment that is conducive for high probability. And to give you a high five right now, it would be equivalent to saying, "Hey, um, let me fill your gas tank up before you go home driving drunk." If you're impulsively looking to do something right now and you just can't wait to do it, you're addicted. And you're trying to do something that's outside of what I taught. And if you have something bad happen, you eat it. You own it. It's yours. You drove drunk. You're looking at this. You can't you can't weather the time that's required to wait. Your impatience is wearing on you and you can't stand the way the market's moving and you just simply want to get out of it. And the only way you think you can get out of it is by simply pushing the button and then see what happens. And that's gambling. That's another form of addiction.